Welcome to TrueVenge Chronicles, the home of real-feel revenge stories, family betrayals, workplace power games, and the sweet moment when the truth finally shows up. If you love stories that start strong, build tension fast, and deliver clear justice, you are in the right place. Today's story is called, "My Sister Said I'd Never Catch Up. She Didn't Expect the Transfer Notice." It begins with a sister who keeps score of everything, and a job where one quiet email can flip the whole family ranking. I'll walk you through a moment of humiliation, a hidden setup, and the kind of comeback that doesn't need shouting to be loud. Pay attention to the little details because in stories like this, proof is the real weapon. Stay to the end, because the transfer notice lands as thunderclap, and the people who laughed will be the ones begging for answers. Drop a comment with impression and tell us what you would do.
My name is Jonah Keats. I am 34 and I live in Auckland, New Zealand. I work as a route planner at HarborLink Logistics, a shipping and freight company near the port. My job sounds boring, but it is the kind of job where one mistake can cost thousands of dollars and ruin a client's trust. My sister, Marissa Keats, is 36. She is a project lead in the same company, but in the corporate office downtown. Marissa dresses sharp, talks loud, and loves being seen. She posts pictures of her coffee, her heels, and her wins like every day is an award show. She also loves one thing more than praise. She loves being ahead of me. We were raised by our mother, Sandra Keats, a night shift nurse who taught us two rules: work hard and do not lie. Dad left when I was 9 and Marissa was 11. After that, Marissa started acting like she was the adult. She would speak for me, answer for me, and correct me in front of people. She called it helping. It never felt like help. On the first Friday of January, Mom hosted a late holiday dinner at her small house in Mount Roskill. The turkey was dry, the gravy was salty, and the air was tight. My aunt, Prue, sat at the table with her phone in her lap like she was waiting for gossip. Mom's partner, Owen, tried to keep the mood light with jokes that did not land. Marissa arrived 40 minutes late, wearing a white blazer like she was walking into a meeting, not a family home. She kissed Mom's cheek, then glanced at me. "Jonah," she said, smiling without warmth. "Still at the port office?" I nodded. "Still there." She looked at my hands like they had dirt on them. "You know, it's cute you like that simple life." I kept my voice calm. "It's not simple. It's steady." Marissa sat and poured herself sparkling water. Even though Mom had bought cider for everyone, steady is another word for stuck. Aunt Prue made a small sound like a laugh she tried to hide. Mom frowned. "Marissa, what?" Marissa said. "I'm just saying, I keep telling Jonah he needs to keep up. The world moves fast." I felt heat rise in my neck. "I'm doing fine." Marissa leaned in, eyes bright. "Fine is not winning. And you have never been a winner, Jonah. You are always catching up. Always." The table went quiet. I stared at my plate. My stomach clenched, not because I believed her, but because she said it in front of everyone like it was a fact. Mom cleared her throat. "Let's talk about something else." But Marissa was in her favorite place now, the spotlight. "Tell them about the promotion track, Jonah. You applied for operations analyst last year, right? And you did not get it." I looked at Mom. Her eyes begged me not to fight. I looked back at Marissa. "I did not get it because the role was canceled." Marissa smiled wider. "Sure, that's what they told you. They tell you soft things because you're sensitive." Owen tried to step in. "Marissa, that's enough." Marissa waved him off. "I'm being honest. Jonah needs honesty. He thinks effort is enough. It's not. People who get ahead know how to play the game." I swallowed hard. "Maybe I don't want your game." Marissa tilted her head. "That's why you will never catch up." Those words stuck. Never catch up. Like my life was a race I had already lost. After dinner, I helped Mom wash dishes, while Marissa sat on the couch, scrolling. Mom whispered, "Ignore her, love." "I try," I whispered back. "But she talks like she owns the truth." Mom sighed. "She's insecure." "Insecure people don't act like queens." Mom wiped her hands and looked at me. "You are good at what you do." "I know it. The right people will know it." I wanted to believe her. I did not yet know how soon the right people would be forced to look. The next Monday, HarborLink was busy. A storm had pushed 3 ships off schedule, and every client wanted answers. I was at my desk at 6:45 a.m., coffee in one hand, routing charts on my screen. My coworker, Talia Reeves, rolled in at 7, hair still damp from the rain. "You look like you slept in the office," she said. "Almost," I replied. "The Southern Cross container is late again." Talia sat and opened her laptop. "That's Marissa's project, right? Her team handles that client," I said. Talia lowered her voice. "I heard she's trying to move up fast. Like director fast." "She always is," I said, keeping my eyes on the screen. At 9:10 a.m., my manager, Grant Holloway, called me into his office. Grant was 42, careful, and always slightly nervous, like he expected trouble around every corner. He shut the door and slid a folder across his desk. "Jonah, I need to ask you something straight." My heart kicked. "Okay, did you send a transfer request to HR for yourself last Friday?" he asked. I blinked. "No." Grant opened the folder. Inside was a printed form with my name, employee number, and a request for immediate transfer to the Wellington branch. The reason listed was performance concerns and role mismatch. My mouth went dry. I didn't write that. Grant tapped the signature line. "It has your electronic signature." I stared at the page. That can't be right. Grant's eyes were tight. "HR flagged it because it came after hours from your login. I know you work late sometimes, but this looks odd." I felt the room tilt. "Someone used my account." Grant exhaled. "That's what I need to determine. If you requested a transfer because you're struggling, tell me now. I can support you. But if this is fraud, it's serious." My hands clenched into fists. "Grant, I did not request this. Wellington is far." Quick pause. TrueVenge family. Are you enjoying this story so far? Be honest, because I want to know if you feel what I feel right now. My sister just planted a transfer request in my name, and the company is treating me like I might be the problem. If you were in my shoes at this exact moment, what would you do? Would you confront Marissa again, or would you stay quiet and let HR and IT do their work? Would you tell the whole family, or protect your mother from the stress? I want to read your thoughts, because this is the kind of betrayal that happens in real life, not just in movies. Also, what do you think about TrueVenge Chronicles so far? If you like these fast, suspense-filled revenge stories with clear proof and strong payback, subscribe right now and join the community. Comment where you are watching from today, because I love seeing how far this community reaches. Also, hit the like button if you want justice to land hard in part 2. And if you are new here, subscribe now so you never miss a twist again. I have my life here. I have mom. Grant studied me. Why would someone do this? A single image flashed in my mind. Marissa at the dinner table, smiling, saying I would never catch up. Then another image, her in the office, talking about playing the game. I hesitated. Accusing my sister without proof felt dangerous. "I don't know," I said. Grant nodded slowly. "All right, I will escalate this to IT and HR. For now, do not talk about it. Keep doing your work. If this spreads, people will assume the worst." I walked out with my stomach in knots. A transfer notice. That was the title of my life now. At my desk, I logged into the system and checked my recent activity. There were entries I didn't recognize. A login at 10:58 p.m. on Friday. A file download. A form submission. It was all stamped with my credentials. Talia watched my face. "What happened?" "Nothing," I lied, because Grant told me not to talk. But I was shaking inside, because I knew who was behind it. I just had to prove it. At lunch, I drove downtown to the corporate office, using the excuse of dropping off routing documents. The lobby was bright and clean, full of people who wore blazers and smelled like expensive cologne. I felt out of place in my rain jacket and work shoes. Marissa's desk was on the 9th floor. She stood in a glass meeting room, laughing with 2 coworkers. When she saw me, she excused herself and walked out with that same fake smile. "Well, look at you," she said. "Did you get lost on the way to the docks?" "I need to talk to you," I said. Marissa folded her arms. About what? I didn't request a transfer, I said quietly. Her eyebrows lifted just a flick. A transfer? A transfer to Wellington, I said, watching her eyes. Marissa's lips pressed together, then she shrugged. Maybe someone thinks you'd do better there. New start, fresh air. My blood went cold. You know about it. She leaned closer. Jonah, don't make scenes in my office. People already think you're behind. I stared at her. Did you use my account? Marissa's smile returned. You always jump to drama. Answer me, I said. Marissa's eyes sharpened. Listen, you keep sitting in that port office like it's some safe little cave. Meanwhile, I'm building a career. I'm making moves. If you can't keep up, the company will move you. That's how it works. I stepped back like she had slapped me. You did this. Marissa gave a soft laugh. Prove it. Then she turned and walked back into the meeting room, leaving me standing there with a folder in my hand and a pounding in my ears. On the drive back, I kept replaying her words. Prove it. That was the point. She was daring me because she thought I didn't know how to fight. That evening, I did something I had never done before. I stopped being the nice brother. I stopped being the kid who stayed quiet to keep peace. I opened my notebook and wrote a timeline. Friday night, 10:58 p.m. Log in. Friday night, form submitted. Saturday, family dinner. She mocks me. Monday morning, Grant confronts me. Monday afternoon, Marissa already knows. I called Talia and told her the truth. Someone filed a transfer request in my name, I said. I think it was Marissa. Talia went silent, then said, that is evil. I need proof, I said. Talia's voice got firm. Then we get proof. I have a friend in IT. His name is Keon Park. He owes me. The next day, Talia introduced me to Keon in the cafeteria. Keon was a thin guy with quick eyes and a habit of tapping his fingers, like he was always running numbers in his head. I can't just pull logs for you, Keon said. That's policy. I'm not asking for secret stuff, I said. I'm asking for the truth about my account. Keon sipped his tea. If HR opened a case, logs will be reviewed anyway. But the question is how fast. People can delete traces. My stomach dropped. Can they? Keon nodded. Some can. Talia leaned in. Keon, please. Keon looked at me. Do you have any reason to think Marissa did it? I told him about the dinner, her comment about playing the game, and how she reacted when I confronted her. Keon's eyes narrowed. Okay, here's what I can do. I can tell you whether your account was accessed from your usual device or another device. Not the details, just that. That's enough, I said. That afternoon, Keon sent me a single message. Different device, different IP. Same building, 9th floor. My hands went numb. 9th floor was Marissa's floor. I forwarded it to Grant with a short note. Evidence suggests my account was accessed from corporate office 9th floor after hours. Please escalate. Grant called me 5 minutes later. Jonah, why didn't you tell me your sister works at corporate? He asked, voice tight. I didn't want to accuse her without proof, I said. Grant exhaled. We're beyond that now. HR is pulling security footage. IT is locking down accounts. This is going to get messy. I stared out the window at the cranes near the port. I didn't start it. Grant's tone softened. I know. Just keep your head down. And Jonah, be ready. People who do this don't quit when caught. They double down. I didn't sleep much that night. I kept thinking about Wellington. The idea of being forced to move away from mom, from my small apartment, from the only life I had built. Marissa had tried to rip it out by the roots with a form and a fake signature. On Wednesday morning, I arrived at work and found my desk cleared. My monitors were off. A note sat on my keyboard. Please report to HR at 9:30 a.m. Talia looked at it and swore under her breath. They're acting like you're guilty. I swallowed. Or they're trying to protect the company. At 9:30, I walked into HR, palms sweating. The room smelled like carpet cleaner. 2 people sat at the table. One was Leanne Soto, the HR investigator. The other was someone I had never met, a woman in a navy suit with sharp eyes and a calm face. Leanne gestured to a chair. Jonah, thank you for coming. This is Leilani Kaur, our Chief Operations Officer. My throat tightened. The COO was here for me? Leilani nodded once. Mr. Keats, I sat. What's going on? Leanne folded her hands. We are investigating an unauthorized transfer request submitted under your name. Until we confirm facts, we've placed you on paid administrative leave. My cheeks burned, so I'm benched. Leilani's voice cut in, smooth but firm. This is not punishment, it's containment. The question is who targeted you and why? I looked up. I believe my sister did it. Leanne's eyes flicked to her notes. We are aware of your claim. Leilani leaned forward. I read your performance reports before I walked in. Your routes reduced late deliveries by 12% in 6 months. You built a manual that new hires still use. You're not someone we transfer for role mismatch. My heart thumped. Thank you. Leilani's eyes stayed on mine. Tell me something, Jonah. If someone wanted you out of Auckland, what would they gain? I thought of Marissa's face at dinner. They would stay ahead. They would keep me small. Leilani nodded slowly. And if we prove it was your sister, are you ready for the fallout? I swallowed. I am ready for the truth. Leilani stood. Good, because the truth is coming fast. Leanne slid a tablet across the table. We pulled the building swipe logs, she said. At 10:52 p.m. Friday, your badge did not enter corporate, but Marissa Keats's badge did. My chest tightened. Leilani tapped the screen and a grainy video played. Marissa walked in alone, hair up, phone to her ear, moving like she owned the place. 10 minutes later, she stepped into the empty hot desk area, sat at a computer, and typed fast. That workstation is assigned to finance after hours, Leilani said, but it still connects to HR forms. Leanne added, she also printed something. We can't see the paper, but we can see the timestamp. I swallowed. So you have her. Leilani's eyes stayed calm. We have enough to act, but we need to do it the right way. Tomorrow morning, we're calling her into this room. She thinks she's coming to discuss your transfer. My pulse jumped. What happens to me? Leilani's voice hardened. You're not going anywhere, but Marissa is. And the notice she forced on you is about to boomerang. As I signed the leave form, my phone buzzed with a text from Marissa. Pack your desk, little brother, tonight. Part 2. Thursday morning came with hard rain and a harder silence. I sat in my car outside the corporate building, watching workers rush through puddles. My hands were steady, but my stomach was not. Inside, someone was about to learn what it feels like to be moved like a chess piece. Leilani met me in the lobby at 8:15 a.m. Say nothing unless I ask, she said. Let facts speak. We rode the elevator to the 9th floor. The glass walls looked colder in daylight. In the HR room, Leanne set 2 folders on the table. One for me, one for Marissa. At 8:30, Marissa walked in wearing a beige coat and a smile that did not fit her eyes. She froze when she saw me. Oh, she said, acting surprised. So this is about Jonah's situation. Good. I came prepared. She sat, crossed her legs, and looked at Leilani like they were equals. I hope we can resolve this quickly. The port office is chaotic and Jonah gets overwhelmed. Leilani didn't blink. Miss Keats, we will be quick. Leanne clicked a remote, and the screen on the wall lit up with a timeline. Dates, times, logins, IP addresses, device IDs. Marissa's smile thinned. What is this? Evidence, Leanne said. Marissa laughed once, sharp. Evidence of what? Leilani spoke. Evidence that an HR transfer request was submitted under Jonah Keats's account on Friday at 10:58 p.m. from a device in this building on this floor. Evidence that Jonah was not here. Evidence that you were. Marissa opened her mouth, then closed it, like her brain was searching for the right lie. Leanne slid the tablet forward. Swipe logs and camera footage. Marissa's eyes flicked to the door like she might run. Then she forced a small smile. So someone used my badge? Leilani's voice stayed calm. The footage shows your face. The badge log shows your badge. The workstation shows your hands typing. We also pulled print history. You printed the transfer form. Marissa's cheeks flushed. This is insane. Why would I do that? I finally spoke because my voice needed to exist in the room. Because you said I would never catch up. Her head snapped toward me. That was a joke. It didn't feel like one, I said. Marissa leaned back, eyes hard. You are doing this because you've always been jealous. Leilani cut in. This is not a sibling fight. This is misconduct. Serious misconduct. Marissa's shoulders rose then fell. She tried a new angle. Fine, I filed it. But I was helping. Jonah hates change. He's stuck. Wellington would have forced him to grow. I stared at her. You tried to uproot my life? Marissa's lips curled. And you would have survived. You always survive. That's your thing. Quiet, steady, boring survival. Leanne's pen moved across a page. So you admit you forged an electronic signature. Marissa shrugged like it was nothing. The system is too easy. If they don't want it abused, they should fix it. Is one of the front. Leilani's eyes finally sharpened. We will fix it, starting today. She pushed the second folder toward Marissa. Open it. Marissa hesitated, then opened it with a small flick of her nails. Her eyes moved down the page. The color drained from her face. No, she whispered. I leaned forward, reading the header upside down. It was a transfer notice. Not mine. Leilani said, effective Monday, you are reassigned from corporate project lead to field compliance coordinator at our Southland facility in Invercargill. You will report to the operations integrity lead. Marissa looked up, breathing fast. That's a demotion. It's a consequence, Leilani said. You violated trust. You compromised HR. You attempted to force a transfer on another employee. You are lucky we are not terminating you today. Marissa's voice turned thin. You can't send me to Invercargill. That's basically the end of my career. Leilani nodded once. That's how Jonah felt when you tried to send him away. Marissa turned to Leanne. This is retaliation. Leanne shook her head. It's risk management. You will have limited system access, no ability to file HR actions, and you will be supervised directly. Marissa's eyes snapped back to me. Supervised by who? Leilani looked at me. Jonah Keats. My throat closed for a second. What? Leilani slid my folder toward me. Open yours. My fingers trembled as I opened it. Inside was a new role letter. Operations Integrity Lead. Corporate Office. Salary increase. A clear path to management. And a line that made my heart thump. You will oversee compliance and transfer approvals across all branches. I looked up, stunned. You're promoting me. Leilani said, we're placing you where you belong, where your attention to detail protects people. You caught the pattern fast. You built a clean timeline. You didn't lash out. That is leadership. Marissa made a choking sound. He's not leadership. He's a doc rat with spreadsheets. Leilani's voice was ice. And you are a manager who tried to ruin a colleague to stay ahead. Pack your things by noon. Security will escort you. Marissa stood so fast her chair scraped. You're all making a mistake. She stormed out, coat swinging, but her steps were not confident anymore. They were rushed, uneven, like a person walking on a floor that suddenly tilted. When the door closed, I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. My hands shook. Not from fear this time. From relief. Leanne smiled slightly. For the record, Jonah, you are not on leave anymore. Leilani stood. Come with me. We'll tell your manager, and we'll secure your accounts today. As we walked out, my phone buzzed again. Another text from Marissa, this time in all caps. You think you won. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. By noon, the rumor had spread across HarborLink like wind through a hallway. People whispered near printers. People paused in doorways. Talia met me at the port office and hugged me so hard my ribs hurt. I told you, she said. Boomerang. Grant looked stunned when Leilani walked into his office with me. COO? He said, standing too fast. Leilani shook his hand. Grant, Jonah is moving to corporate, effective immediately. Grant's face broke into a smile. He earned it. Leilani nodded. He did. Also, your systems need tightening. We're rolling out two-factor security next week. Grant glanced at me, guilt in his eyes. I'm sorry I doubted you. You didn't? I said. You asked questions. That's fair. He swallowed. Your sister is gone, I said, far gone. That afternoon, I packed my desk. Not because I was being forced out, but because I was moving up. I took my notebook, my old route maps, and a small photo of Mom and me at the beach. Talia handed me a pen. For your new office, she said. I smiled. I'm taking you to lunch when I settle in. You better, she said. And Jonah? Yeah? She pointed at my chest. Stand up straight. You caught up. I drove to Mom's house that evening with the transfer letters in my bag. I didn't want her to hear it from Aunt Prue or Marissa's angry phone calls. Mom opened the door in her slippers, hair tied back, worry already on her face. "Is everything okay?" she asked. I walked in and sat at the kitchen table. "Mom, Marissa tried to transfer me out of Auckland." Mom covered her mouth. "What?" I slid the paperwork across. HR proved it. She admitted it. Mom's eyes filled. "Why would she do that to you?" I could have given a simple answer. Jealousy, pride, control. But the real answer was heavier, because she needed me to stay below her. Mom sat slowly, hands shaking. And what happened? I slid the second set of papers across. She got transferred. Invercargill, field compliance. And I got promoted to operations integrity lead. Mom stared at the letter like it might vanish. Then she started to cry, quiet and broken. "I failed you," she whispered. "No," I said quickly. "You raised us to be honest. Marissa chose not to." Mom wiped her cheeks. "She was always competing, even when you were kids." I nodded. "I know." Just then, Marissa called. Mom's phone buzzed on the counter like a live thing. Mom looked at it, then at me. "Do you want to answer?" I asked. Mom's jaw tightened. She hit accept and put it on speaker. "Mom!" Marissa's voice was high and furious. "Did Jonah come over and poison you against me?" Mom took a breath. "Marissa, what did you do?" Silence. Then a scoff. "I did what I had to do. Jonah would never move unless I pushed him." Mom's voice rose. "You forged his signature. You tried to move him away like a box." Marissa snapped. "He was never going to catch up. I was protecting the family image." I felt my hands curl. "Family image?" I said, leaning toward the phone. "You mean your image?" Marissa hissed. "Enjoy your little title. It won't last. People like you don't stay on top." Mom spoke low and steady. "Marissa, apologize to your brother." Marissa laughed. "Why? He thinks he's better now. Let him be better. Let him babysit me in Invercargill. See how long he lasts when I push back." Then she hung up. Mom stared at the phone, stunned. She didn't even sound sorry. I shook my head. "She's not. Not yet." That night, I lay in bed in my apartment, staring at the ceiling. Winning didn't feel loud. It felt quiet, like my body finally stopped bracing for impact. But I also knew Marissa's last words were a warning. She planned to fight from Invercargill. She planned to make my new job hard. On Friday, I started at corporate. My new office was not big, but it was mine. A clean desk, a monitor with security tools, a calendar full of audits. Leilani introduced me to my direct team, Sione Matangi, a calm compliance officer with a deep voice, Hazel Watanabe, a sharp analyst who noticed everything, and Priya Nair, an HR systems specialist who spoke softly but never missed a detail. Leilani said, "This team exists to stop power abuse. We protect employees from silent harm." I nodded, feeling the weight of it. I won't waste it. Hold up for a moment, friends of TrueVenge Chronicles. We just watched the tables turn in a way Marissa never planned. Did that transfer notice shock you, or did you see it coming? Tell me your honest opinion in the comments. Now, if you were me right now, with a new promotion and my sister raging in the background, what would your next move be? Would you cut her off completely, or would you keep things civil to protect your mother? Would you forgive her if she apologized, or would you keep distance until she proves change? Also, how is my channel treating you so far? Do you like stories where the justice is clear and the timeline stays tight? If you do, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. And I want to know where you are watching from today. Drop your city and country in the comments so we can shout you out in future videos. All right, back to the story, because Marissa is not done yet. If this part is hitting home, tap like now. Your support helps this channel grow and reach more people around the world. Hazel asked, "Do you want to review the Invercargill transition plan?" I did. Because revenge is not just watching someone fall. It is making sure they can't hurt others on the way down. We spent the morning tightening access, updating approval flows, and creating alerts for suspicious activity. Priya found more than one case of odd transfers in the past year. "This isn't isolated," she said. Someone has been gaming the system. Leilani's eyes narrowed. Then we cleaned the whole house. At 3 p.m., a message popped up on my screen. An internal request from Invercargill. It was from Marissa. Subject: transfer clarification. My heart beat once. Hard. I opened it. Marissa wrote, "Jonah, you need to reverse this. I have leverage. Call me." My jaw tightened. Leverage meant she had something else. Some other lie. Some other threat. I forwarded it to Leilani and typed one line back. All requests must go through formal channels. Do not contact me privately. 2 minutes later, my phone rang. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. The voicemail arrived. Marissa's voice. Sweet and sharp. "You think you're safe because you have a title. You're not. I know about the Redwood contract. Ask Hazel what happens if that audit goes public." My stomach flipped. Redwood was one of HarborLink's biggest clients. If something was wrong there, it was bigger than my family drama. I walked straight to Hazel. "What is Redwood?" I asked. Hazel's face went still. "Who told you that?" "My sister," I said. Hazel cursed quietly. Then she found the one thing she could weaponize. Leilani stepped into my office at that moment, eyes locked. "Jonah," she said, "we need to move fast. If Marissa has access to any client data, we shut it down now." Sione stood up. "I can get Invercargill on a secured line." Priya said, "I'm locking her access again." Full freeze. Leilani looked at me. "This is your first real test. Not of skill, of spine." I swallowed. "Then let's do it." And as the rain started again against the windows, I realized the transfer notice was not the end. It was the beginning of a deeper fight. We pulled Redwood files under a sealed audit label so nobody could accuse us of phishing. Hazel opened the contract history and pointed at one line. "Someone approved a rush discount last month," she said. "It cut our margin in half. That approval should have required 2 signatures." Priya typed fast. The second signature was skipped using an admin override. Sione frowned. "Who has that override?" Hazel answered, "Only 2 people, Leilani and the commercial director, Adrian Voss." Leilani's face didn't change, but her eyes did. "Adrian," she said, like the name tasted bitter. I felt my pulse in my ears. "So Marissa wasn't just being petty," I said. "She was grabbing real dirt." Leilani nodded. "And now she's trying to trade it for power." We called Invercargill on the secured line. The branch manager confirmed Marissa had been bragging that corporate would fix this mistake within a day. While he talked, Priya confirmed something else. Marissa had tried to log into the Redwood folder at 2:41 p.m. after her access freeze. "She's still pushing," Priya said. Leilani stood. Then we ended clean. At 5 p.m., Adrian Voss was invited to a routine compliance check. He arrived smiling, confident, and too relaxed. When Hazel placed the audit trail in front of him, that smile cracked. "This is a misunderstanding," he said. I looked him in the eye. "The system shows your override, Adrian. It also shows Marissa accessed the same client notes minutes after the override. Why?" Adrian's jaw worked. "She asked questions. I told her not to." Leilani's voice dropped. "And yet, you left the door open." Security escorted Adrian out pending investigation. Priya sent a termination notice to Marissa for attempted fraud, blackmail, and repeated access violations. This time, the transfer notice was replaced by something final. That weekend, Marissa showed up at Mom's door, crying, saying I ruined her. Mom stood in the doorway and didn't move. "No," Mom said, "you ruined yourself." Marissa looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time. I didn't gloat. I just said, "I caught up, and I'm not running anymore." When she left, the house felt lighter. On Monday, Redwood stayed with HarborLink, the bad discount was reversed, and the board thanked Leilani for stopping a bigger leak. My victory was simple and clear. My life stayed in Auckland, my career rose, and the person who tried to erase me was the one removed instead. That was the transfer notice's truth. Life lesson 1. Keep a paper trail when someone plays games. Save emails, screenshots, and dates. Write a simple timeline. Ask for official reviews, not hallway talks. Facts protect you when rumors spread. Proof also protects your peace because you stop guessing and start knowing. Then you can speak calmly. Life lesson 2. Family is not a license to harm you. If a sibling competes by cutting you down, that is not love, it is control. Set boundaries early, even if it feels scary. The right people will respect them, and your future will breathe without you begging for permission. Life lesson 3. Let your comeback be useful, not noisy. When you gain power, fix the system that hurt you. Protect coworkers, tighten rules, and reward honest work. Winning clean builds trust and keeps you proud. That is the kind of revenge that lasts for years after tempers cool down. Now I want your opinion. Was Jonah right to let HR handle it, or should he have exposed Marissa at the family dinner first? If you were in Jonah's shoes, would you accept the promotion that put you over your own sister, or refuse to avoid drama? Write your answer in the comments and tell me what city and country you are watching from. Try to apply one lesson this week and notice the change.
Thank you for staying with TrueVenge Chronicles all the way to the end. Seriously, what kept you here until now? The family betrayal, the workplace chess game, or the moment the transfer notice flipped the power? Tell me in the comments, because your answers shape the next stories I bring to this channel. If you're new here, TrueVenge Chronicles is your home for revenge stories, justice stories, and real-life style narratives about loyalty, betrayal, divorce, workplace drama, inheritance shocks, and the calm comeback that proves people wrong. These are stories built to hook you fast, keep you listening, and leave you with a clear win and a lesson you can use. Before you go, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next upload. Then head to the playlists section and binge the best episodes. Family revenge, boss revenge, courtroom twists, and quiet comeback stories. If this story hit you, share it with a friend who needs courage. See you in the next TrueVenge Chronicles. Like the video to boost it in the algorithm and help more viewers find these emotional, suspense-filled revenge tales. Your support keeps this channel growing, week after week, story after story together. Goodbye.